The importance of journaling. Hey yo, I'm DT and y'all family. This is Fam Talk. So let's do what? Let's talk. Right? So today's episode is about the importance of journaling. I strongly recommend journaling, and here's why. As a man, sometimes you don't feel like you can talk to anybody. You don't have anybody to go to when you're weak, when you're vulnerable, when you want to express yourself, because society says that it's okay for a man to express his emotions, but in reality it's not. Because society does not care. Because men are the expendable species. Is the expendable part of the human species. Women and children are to be protected at all times. And this is not a bad thing. When I say that, I'm not saying, oh, no, it is not a bad thing. Because as a man, you have enough strength to protect yourself and your family. That's your role. That's just how you was created. But the thing is this though, we are not taught to, we don't know how to sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron. But because a lot of men who do not know how to be men move in their emotion, move in their feelings, and respond that way. So if you're like a manly man, or you're just a natural, or I say for lack of terms, an alpha, well, I'm not even gonna use those terminology. Look, when it comes down to is this, men, we are instinct, logic, and emotion. Women are instinct, emotion, logic, because women are naturally more emotional because of their biology, because of how they're created. And I think I'm gonna do an episode about that where I'm gonna break down why I think women are more emotional. And it has nothing to do with them, it's just their body is set up that way. And so because women deal with emotion more than men, because they're naturally more emotional, they're able to sit and deal with their emotions better. Men, because we think logic first, emotion last, we don't really know how to deal with our emotions as well. We have to teach ourselves to learn how to sit and deal with those emotions. And the aggressive emotions of a man is anger, and anger turns into violence. That's the reason you have all these people doing this crazy physical. So something that I've learned that helps with me and my emotions and me and my feelings is journaling. When you're journaling, you're writing, you're able to freely express yourself without condemnation, without judgment. Also on top of that, we have a lot of things in our subconscious that we don't pay attention to, that we don't know, because we all suffer from PTSD. We all suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Every last one of them, because there's certain things that happen to us as a kid that traumatize us, and we don't necessarily know that because we're so busy trying to survive and live that we don't take the time to look at our mental health. And so last night upon this recording, I woke up at 12 o'clock. My blood pressure was skyrocketed. And I was like, I don't know what I'm thinking about, but I'm stressing about something I should be stressing about. So I get up this morning and I'm trying to think, and I can't figure it out. So what I do is I grab my journal and I write. And as I write, I'm able, like all this, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about this. I'm able to sit and write it out and not worry. And all that pressure that's in my subconscious, all those emotions, all those feelings, because I have a lot of stuff going on that I mean, shoot, it's too personal for Fam Talk. I can't even talk to y'all about it. But it's something that I have to work out, because I have to learn how to process my emotions. When I'm at work, I get upset at something. I talk to one of my coworkers and say, hey, I feel this way, but I shouldn't be feeling this way. I should think this way. Help me come up with a way. How should I look at this? He'd be like, oh, well, don't take it personal. Look at it. Boom, 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 boom. That's the reason I make the statement saying that nobody is against you. Everybody is for themselves. People are not out there purposely trying to harm you, but they will harm you to get them to where they need to be. There's a huge difference. It's selfishness. And selfishness comes from self-preservation. So they think that that's the best way they can survive. I can't judge anybody for how they feel they know what they need to do, because the thing is, so when it comes to moral codes only what lies within you. Your moral code is your moral code. You cannot expect to uphold everybody else to your moral code. Now you can live and stand on your moral code, but you can't expect others. So it's like, okay, cool, that makes sense. So now if my manager says something off the wall to me, as long as he don't cross my boundaries, we good to go. And a lot of times they don't. But it's just as in learning how to process that. But then there's certain things that I, like as I spoke about, I can't go in detail with, because so I write it out. And as I write these things out, that pressure comes out, because you have to remember, your conscious is the protector of your subconscious. I highly recommend the book, The Master Key System by Charles Hannen. It explains in detail how powerful your mind is and how the conscious protects the subconscious. If you sit and you revert to fear, the reason you reverted to fear because that's the last known information. You may be watching things and doing things and listening to things that keep you in a fearful mentality. So if you're having a conversation and they're saying, man, don't work for this place, they do this, and when you get there, if you work for them, you don't think they're gonna do that. In reality, that's their experience. Their experience may be different from yours. But the consciousness has told the subconsciousness that, hey. So I give myself an example, because there's a manager at a place I used to work, was like, he told the guy, said, hey, keep doing it, I'm gonna fire you. And so because the manager told my coworker that, I'm thinking that my manager would say that to me. But every time my manager addresses me, I don't have those issues. And I realized that I was looking at my manager through his eyes, not my own eyes. And we do that a lot. Why? Because I allow my conscious to hear the wrong information. So my subconscious automatically wanted to get to the defensive. But how do you know what's in your subconscious? Because we naturally protect ourselves. We're built for self-preservation. And sometimes you may self-sabotage, but you may self-sabotage because you're trying to save yourself, but you're saving yourself the wrong way. So prime example, so you may, like a young lady may sit and be in a relationship, but she may push him away because she's afraid. But she's pushing him away because she's afraid to get hurt. She's self-sabotaging. The same thing with men. Men do the exact same thing in some situations. So how do you find out what's in your subconscious? Journaling. Write your thoughts out, write your feelings, write your emotions out. Why? Because that's the only place you can be vulnerable, and nobody can judge you, nobody can sit and hurt you there. Because as men, we naturally, that's not our language. We do not speak emotionally. We talk about things and problems and solutions. So when I call my best friend, I'm like, yo, I got this, I'm looking for a solution. But if his experiences is what happens if he have an experience that he has a feeling that he's never listening. He's not going to be able to sit and kind of help with that. As much as he tries, as much as he wants to, he can't. But once again, if you sit down and you write it out, it will come out. And once it come out, you can deal with it. You're talking to a person who's self-medicated, who did therapy upon himself, who, if y'all have seen previous fam talks, I know the story, who was homeless, who lived in a hotel, who from there it took 6 months to find out exactly who he was. And journaling was one of the things that helped me get there. And I got away from it, so it is crazy that And once again, I woke up at 12. My blood pressure skyrocketed. I go back to sleep. I get back up. I'm like, let me write this stuff down. And as I write, all that stuff that's on my mind comes out. And that's what gave birth to this video. It's literally I'm living exactly what I'm saying. I'm going back to that. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is gonna be meditation. See, there's a quote out here saying that the problem with the world is man's inability to be alone. That's a powerful quote. The problems of the world stimulate from man's inability to be alone. If you're not comfortable being by yourself, there's a war within you, and you need to fix that. Because what happens is, if the inside world is jacked up, it's going to reflect on the outside. So when you sit and when you're at peace, you're able to address people peacefully. When you're at war, you're going to look at things in a warfare mentality. But that's for next episode. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and give me your thoughts, or how do you vent, or how do you express yourself. But with that being said, peace.